What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's going to be a sick video, something a little bit different, talking a little bit more about, I guess, the nitty gritty, my growth over the last 4 years running my business and being on my health journey. And then of course I'll give you guys a live update. There's been heaps happening in my world and I haven't really given you guys an update what's coming, and there's going to be some really cool videos coming up in the next few months. Other than that, y'all, let's jump straight into this video. Just to pre-frame before I jump into all these books and my favorite reads and why, I just want to state that reading's not for everyone, and that's okay. There is plenty of ways to get around this, plenty of ways to learn and invest in yourself to make sure you are taking those steps forward daily to become the best version of yourself. Now, obviously, I'm not a massive reader, and this is a massive reason why I'm making this video. Obviously not a sponsored video, I'm not connected with anyone particular, but I use a platform called Audible to ensure that I am getting my reps in. And what I mean by that is make sure I'm getting the books in, make sure I'm learning, make sure I'm constantly working on myself. A wise person once said that you gotta work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And when I first heard that, I didn't really understand it, but now that I apply that every single day, it's something massive that I do. So guys, Audible, pretty simple, it's nice and cheap, only a little bit per month, and you get credits anyway, so you're paying a month per month, and then you can actually use your credits to purchase the books that you listen to. And there's everything from obviously fiction, non-fiction, personal growth, sporting, biographies, whatever, on here. Now, for me, it is a lot easier to listen to something, and then obviously if you need to reread it, you can reread it. Now, throughout this video, I'm actually going to share, I've got some hard copies here of some of my books that I have at home. Most of these I have listened to on Audible or I've read in person. Now, I'm pretty much going to give you my top 5 reasons why, and there's obviously various kind of topics and everything. So I've listened to a heap on Audible, but guys, do yourself a favor, if you don't like reading, make sure you're committing, whether you're going on YouTube and really investing and learning and watching videos to make sure you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now, don't just take this as a business standpoint, personal life, leadership, business, success, finances, like anything there. YouTube has millions of videos that will help you out, as well as Audible. So I'm going to highlight my top 5 favorite books in this video, and then also give you a live update like I've already mentioned. So let's jump into number 5. This is my 5th favorite book, and I haven't actually good English, good start. Let's start again. Like I was saying, guys, haven't actually read this book in about 3 years, a very long time, and this is the very first non-fiction personal development finance book that I had read and was recommended to me by my mentors. Someone was actually giving them away, had multiple copies, and I was like, if the more successful people are telling you to read it and you can get a hold of it, get a hold of it. Basically, guys, success leaves clues. So I picked up this book. This is actually the updated copy. This is my sister's copy that's actually got contact. It's nice and well looked after. The one that I've got is a little bit smaller and it's trashed because I took it everywhere I read, and I read it multiple times, and I just went all in on learning about this. So I'm actually going to read this back, they call it a blurb, the back of the book, and kind of just give you an insight, because if you haven't heard of this, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, over 15 million copies in print. It's been, honestly, it's the most well-known financial book worldwide. So obviously, most important financial book ever written. Over 40 millionaires were researched to find out what made them different, okay? In this book, he imparts that knowledge to you. Once you've read this book, you will understand what gives certain people an edge over everyone else. By following the advice laid out clearly in this book, you'll be with the one with the edge. It's time to stop wondering what it's like to be rich and start knowing. This book has changed countless lives, and it can change yours too. The thing that I noticed, guys, is this book is clearly and simply laid out. I've read some books or tried to read some books in the past, and it's very hard to read. And for an example, no diss on them, but there's a book by Tony Robbins called Unshakable, and I could not really get into it because it's very deep, it's very specific, and it's very hard to read. And if you've tried to read it, and basically what I'm saying is your personal growth can only get you so far. And I hadn't grown enough, and I hadn't understand finances and wealth and that whole side of life enough to read that book. So that's number 5, guys. Whether you're in business, whether you're just looking to become rich, go and grab this book. Basically, I keep asking myself, am I rich yet? No? Okay, time to read this book again. So time to pick it up and get another coat. Now that I can't talk, y'all, but that's number 5. 4 is actually a joint win. I couldn't split between these two, and they're both from Audible. I can't split these books, and I'll explain why they're together too. So the first one is the 10X Rule by Cardone. It's the most iconic cover to a book in big ass capitals, and it's so straightforward. So I'm actually going to pull up the book details and kind of give you an aspect. So extreme success, I was going to say something else and trying to word it. So extreme success, obviously by definition, lies beyond the realm of normal actions. And that's like the main line used in this book. He explains about how to become next level, how to go world class in your area. You need to do 10x action. And that's out of the ordinary, that's not the normal. And it shows you in order for your success, it's your duty and obligation and responsibility to go above and beyond, if that makes sense. So it's a very intense book. It's a very punch yourself, it's very slap in the face, and it's kind of smack for reality for people who aren't doing enough work towards their success. And it explains about how there's no easy way to success, and there's no easy way to the top. Okay. Now, the book that I partnered that with, that I think's pretty equal on number 4 out of my top 5, is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Also on, what's it called? It's also on Audible as well. I'm getting all caught up because I get so excited. These books are phenomenal, and they're really changing people's lives as well as mine. So now this book, very similar to the book called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Haven't actually read this one. It's one of the next ones on my list. But this was actually recommended by a friend from social media, from TikTok. She's read this book multiple times and raved about it and told me what it's a bit about. And it's really similar to Atomic Habits by James Clear. So basically he says, Clear reveals exactly how the minuscule changes that grow into such life-altering outcomes. Okay, so what's it say here? So James Clear has discovered another way. He knows that real change comes from the compound effect of hundreds of small little decisions. Now, I'll give you guys an example. If you're looking to lose weight, you eating healthy for one day it's not gonna show dramatically the next day. Like if your goal is to lose 30 kilos, you can't eat healthy for one day and expect to be 30 kilos lighter the next day. The hundreds and hundreds of small decisions you make, from getting up earlier, choosing the healthier meal over the takeout, choosing the water over the juices and soft drinks, choosing to do your cardio, choosing to exercise. All those little decisions, 12 months down the track, you're 30 kilos lighter and feeling absolutely phenomenal. That's the Atomic Habits. Creating those little decisions that are the compound effect to the large goal or life-altering decisions, like you said. So basically for me, 10X being such a heavy book, it's so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's so in your face. The Atomic Habits and the principles in that book kind of tie everything together, because people, when they do 10X action, they're thinking that they need to do all these big things and focus on the massive goal. But then in reality, for me, read the Atomic Habits, and it's all about taking things back, breaking things down to those small little decisions to make the life-altering changes that you do need. So go and check those out. 10X Rule by Grant Cardone and the Atomic Habits by James Clear. 3, this book is phenomenal. This, again, I listen to on Audible, but I actually have a hard copy. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Again, another one that was highly recommended, and I only listened to it this year. Coming up, I'm now over 4 years in my business and really focusing on personal growth and development and transformation and self-mastery. I got recommended this in the first year of my business and I still didn't pick it up. Now, I only just listened to this a little while ago. It was one of my more recent books over the last couple of months that I finished. And it's so powerful. So in this audio book, you learn, sorry, in the book as well, obviously it's in here, the 6 ways to make people like you, the 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking, the 9 ways to change people without arousing resentment, and so much more. Now, the main thing for me, guys, being in a people's business or a relationship building business, how you communicate and, I guess, interact with individuals is really important. And when I started learning those particular things, obviously that's a very blunt term, but how to inspire people, how to help people create change, how to, I guess, what's it say there? Change people without arousing resentment. You can't make someone change. You can't make someone, I guess, do your way, like do what you want them to do. But when there is resentment, it's only going to kill you and stunt your growth and your journey to success. So if you basically want to maximize your potential, learn how to influence people, learn how to interact, learn how to create lifelong relationships, this is an incredible book to get a hold of. Go and check it out. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale. Top 2. Now, number 2, my favorite book, one of my favorite books of all time. I'm actually listening to it again on Audible as we speak. So, been finished before, I'm going to pull this up, give you guys some details. So, this book is called Cant Hurt Me by David Goggins. Now, pre-frame, let's just kind of give you a disclaimer. This book has some very graphic stories in it about David's upbringing and what he went through for various goals in his life. So I'm going to kind of just give you a bit of a storyline. So for David Goggins, childhood was a nightmare. Poverty, prejustice. I can't even say that word. It's not prejustice though. Physical abuse colored his days and haunted his nights. But through self-discipline, mental toughness, and hard work, Goggins transformed himself from a depressed, overweight young man with no future into the US Armed Forces icon and one of the world's top endurance athletes, the only man in history to complete elite training as a Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller. He went on to set records in numerous endurance events, inspiring Outside Magazine to name him as the fittest real man in America. In Cant Hurt Me, he shares his astonishing life story and reveals most of us tap into only 40% of our capabilities. Goggins calls this the 40% rule, and his story illuminates a path that anyone can follow to push past pain, demolish fear, and reach their full potential. Now, the big thing for me was the first time I listened to this book, it was leading up to the biggest physical challenge of my life. And that was the H&F charity bike ride I did in January. Now, just to kind of give you a breakdown of what that is. We started in Torquay in Victoria near Bells Beach, okay? So we fly into Avalon Airport, we drive to Torquay, and we start there. We ride our bicycles from Torquay all the way to Adelaide over 5.5 days. Okay, it's almost 860 kilometers on a bike, and training was pretty minuscule. Obviously, I blew my knee out going in and some other various things, but I was not going to give up. My mentor, Bex, suggested this book, and that's exactly why. Learning how to control your mind, push past that barrier, because it's the mind that quits before the body. And like it says there, it's only 40% of your true capabilities. So an amazing book. It really helped me push through because I finished it leading into that charity run. Didn't get off the bike once. We rode the full distance, and it was the biggest mental and physical challenge of my life. So I can't rave about this book enough, because that pushed me through some dark times on that bicycle, and really just thinking about the potential that I can push my body to. So go and check it out, Cant Hurt Me by David Goggins. You can buy physical copies, but I've listened to it multiple times on Audible. And we're at number 1. This is my favorite book of all time, and no, I didn't listen to this on Audible. It's not even on Audible. And my dear friend and teamie, Diane's actually got this copy, so I can't show you the physical copy. I'll try to put a photo of it here in the video, but this book is called Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life by Garrain Jones. Now, if you don't really know much about Garrain, he is multi-business owner. Basically, he wrote this book sharing about his life story and how he went from being in jail and being homeless to multi-business owner, 6- and 7-figure earner, like global speaker. And he's been invited to speak in like 20 to 30 countries. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but he's a massive inspiration. And this book is so small, so simple, so easy to read, and he really shares the principles and things that he went through and the lessons that he learned to take control of his mindset, change the mindset, have that mindset shift to change his life. No one goes from jail to a 7-figure business owner overnight, and that book is so powerful. I'd like to obviously share some more details about that, but guys, you need to go and check it out. It is so cheap to get a hold of. It's on Amazon. And if you don't know who Garrain Jones is, go and check him out. He has a website, GarrainJones.com, I believe, and Garrain.Jones on Instagram. Phenomenal content, fit as a fiddle. He's over 40 and looks unbelievable. And he's a massive inspiration. So that is my number 1. And you heard about my top 5. There is heaps of books, guys, but the reality of it is success leaves clues. And if successful people are reading and learning and growing every single day, why aren't you guys? And I suggest, if it's not books, jump on YouTube. And if it's not on YouTube, make sure you're going after the best version of yourself every single day. All right, y'all, we're just gonna do a bit of a life update. I'm gonna give you guys some things that have been happening in my world. I haven't really spoken to you guys too much on the channel or on my social media too much, but I'm gonna kind of give you a quick rundown. Obviously, you guys knew about my knee, and I hadn't really been training the way I really like. You've seen the change of training schedule over the last 6 months at least. Now, the big thing for me was I eventually went and got it checked out. I figured out I need surgery. I had surgery. I'm in recovery right now. I have stitches in my knee as we speak. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it too much. It's not important. It's not helping anyone grow and develop and move towards the best version of themselves during this time. So basically we're in recovery, okay? I'm now full-time on my business, and I'm full-time doing YouTube, and I'm full-time doing social media, and I'm full-time helping people get into the best shape of their life. And coming up in the next couple of videos, guys, we're gonna do a couple Q&A. So me and my beautiful new partner, Raquel, we're gonna do a couples Q&A. So if you go and follow me on my social media, HughesyFit24, you guys will see that there's going to be a question box on my story, and you guys can obviously ask us questions for one of the next YouTube videos coming up. But that's kind of the reality of it, guys. We're in recovery where coronavirus is still around. For my birthday, I actually got a wall-mounted pull-up bar. I got some weights, and I actually got some boxing gloves that are behind the camera right now. So my home training is going to be phenomenal. We're gonna save up. We've got a massive project coming up in the next 12 months, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be life-changing. And I can't really think what else. It's been a phenomenal journey so far, and I'm gonna do my best to create weekly videos for y'all. So give me some suggestions on what you guys wanna see down in the comments below. Other than that, make sure you like, hit that little bell so you guys can not miss a video from myself, and join the Hughesy Fit Wellness fam. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.